I recently went on a small vacation to visit family, and I had a couple flights and layovers, and now I am hopelessly addicted to 2 specific mobile games that I played during that time. But before I share them with you, please leave a like, pop a sub, and comment down below some mobile games that you're hopelessly addicted to, and let's get right into it. The first game I want to share with you all is Halls of Torment. Now, I didn't even know this existed until the developer or publisher, I don't remember which one, reached out to me with a code, and they were like, hey, we'd love if you'd give this game a try. And so I decided to do so, but they had no strings attached, so I just want to let you guys know that this is very unbiased, to be honest. And here are my thoughts. Now, immediately this game is just dripping in Diablo nostalgia. I'm talking about Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. It has the isometric view. It has the really good kind of pixelated art style that's kind of rough around the edges. It has that really dark fantasy or grim dark fantasy theme with the soundtrack and everything. It's awesome. Now, with the gameplay, it is a reverse bullet hell type game, similar to something like Vampire Survivors, and I almost immediately wrote this game off, as I do with most games in this genre nowadays. Most games are clones, let's get real, and it just has a aesthetic difference. But this one has quite a few things differently. Now, first and foremost, you have quests that you can go on, and these quests involve killing certain amounts of enemies, or killing certain amounts of enemies with specific abilities, or using abilities, dealing certain amounts of damage, stuff like that. And you can accept these quests one at a time and complete those quests on kind of like a tree-like system. Now, on top of that, you can also gain gear, like in Diablo, from killing bosses, and you get that gear and it ups certain stats or statistics of your character for that specific run. Now, on top of that, in between runs, you can level up certain statistics of your character, as well as unlock new classes. There are a lot of classes to unlock in this game, and you've seen them all before. The up close and personal whack 'em with the sword kind of guy. You've got the archer, you've got the sorcerer, you've got all of that. So there's so many different layers of variety here for you to experience. You choose your class of character, you level up that character's specific abilities or play styles. You have gear that further layers on more depth. And then between that, you're going into these dungeons, and there's different dungeons with different levels of difficulty, different enemies to encounter, different bosses to encounter, different attack patterns to memorize, all of that. And you control your character very similar to Vampire Survivors, where you can just move them wherever you need to move them. However, you do have more control over your attacks too. So they will naturally auto attack in the direction that it sees fit. However, you can take control at any time and kind of shoot in a different direction if you see that as more of a viable strategy in the moment. So it's hands-off, or as hands-off as you want it to be, but you can also take control with the aim of your attacks. And in between runs, you have so much to pour gold into, which you acquire on your run too, and gold is the only thing that carries over, as well as the stats carry over that you level up with gold. So I'm actually kind of blown away with how much I've enjoyed this game so far, and I'm continuing to enjoy it. There's lots to unlock, lots of like checking off the box type stuff. If you guys are completionists, you will love the crap out of this game, and it's consistently really impressed me. The only downside I've seen is there have been some glitches, but those have all been fixed. At least all of the glitches I have experienced have been fixed within the most recent update, which is really cool to see. So I honestly think this is worth the price tag. Definitely check it out. I'll leave the link to the game in the description down below for iOS as well as Android for this game. So I highly suggest it, honestly. The second game is Balatro. Now, you've heard so much about this, whether you're on the iOS gaming subreddit, the Android gaming subreddit, whether you're just anywhere. Balatro is the main game, and everyone's raving about it. And honestly, I had this game on Steam Deck way before it released on mobile, and I didn't get the hype before I got it on Steam Deck, but as soon as I got it on Steam Deck and played it, it is an absolute banger. It is not overhyped. However, maybe you were like me and you just didn't see the value in it. You're like, I don't play poker, I've never played poker, there's no way it can be that addicting. And that's how I was. I've never played poker in my life. The closest I've gotten to poker is Yahtzee, and that's honestly how I learned this game, is I was like, wait, this is Yahtzee, but with the cards, which sounds really lame. But you play poker hands in order to maximize your points. Now, that doesn't sound like fun. If it was just that, that would be pretty boring. But what sets Balatro apart and just makes it literally with endless replay value is there's different types of decks of cards that have different like passive bonuses or passive things that you have to keep in mind, and it makes you play differently. But the main thing that makes this so replayable and just crazy in general is the jokers. Now, in between rounds of trying to achieve a certain amount of points within a certain amount of hands with a specific number of discards, there is a shop that will appear, and you can buy cards from this shop. Now, these cards consist of jokers as well as one-use abilities. I'll put it that way. The tarot cards are one-use activatables that will help you in the moment as you're playing. And then there are planetary cards that increase the multiplier for certain types of hands that you're playing, or poker hands. Now, this is a lot, but you'll see it in the gameplay before you. And the jokers are the main thing that make this so fun. Some jokers will say, oh, all cards count as face cards now. And then say you encounter another joker in the shop that's like, all face cards get a +5 multiplier. And so you can get these synergies with these jokers, and some jokers are just completely wacky. I randomly got a banana on one of the most recent runs that I had on my mobile device, and the banana was like, oh, you get a times crazy multiplier, and it only has a 1 in 1,000 chance of dying or destroying itself. It's just, I can't believe the amount of jokers are here, and some of them are just strictly there for fun, for randomization, but then you have that depth of being able to synergize these jokers. Now, you can only have 5 jokers at a time, so you have to kind of strategize your money, and you get more money after rounds by defeating or beating that score in the most few amount of hands possible, while and you get money from that. So say you have 5 hands to play, you play one hand, you reach the point limit or point goal you wanted to, then you get more money than you would have if you only had one hand left, or you just squeak by with no hands left. So there's like a money management where you have to spend your money. You can also sell jokers, you can sell things if you need be. There's like this weird kind of economy management in between these rounds. And I know this sounds kind of crazy and it's hard to describe, but man, is it fun. If you've never played poker, please give it a shot. If you like Yahtzee, give it a shot. This is so well done. This is how you port over a port. It has haptic feedback. I've not encountered any glitches, bugs. It has cloud saves. The touch controls are immaculate. This is the definitive way to play Balatro. Don't get it on Steam Deck. Don't get it on Steam. Don't get it on any other platform but mobile. It is right at home on mobile. It's perfect. Just go get it. All right, guys, thanks for listening to me ramble about 2 games that have me hopelessly addicted to them. Don't forget to leave a like, pop a sub, comment down below the games that you're hopelessly addicted to. I know that that's kind of dangerous asking for stuff like that, but yo, I asked for it, so just do it. I love you guys. I hope you guys are staying safe, and take it easy.